Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair,
I am the one and only Jay Tilly.
the one. Finally, we've come back for the podcast.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
it has been a month of Sundays. And it's awesome to see you, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. We're getting through.
Yeah.
We'll see how this show goes and how we end up going. But yeah, it has been a while, man, and it's good to talk. I know we're trying to get back on a normal schedule, but as we go through this show, hopefully our fans will understand what we're going through, and specifically you're going through. I say we. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just along
No,
for the
man, we're a
ride. But
tag team.
yeah,
We're a tag team, dude.
um we'll keep pushing through, and ideally, I know we say this every time we go, we're getting back on a schedule Tuesdays and Thursdays. The plan was this Tuesday and Thursday, and I forgot about Halloween and took the kids out
Mm,
trick-or-treating, so that one was on me.
trick or
But
treat.
we really will try to at least get one show a week out, preferably two, hopefully three or four if we can some, but
Yeah.
absolutely at least one a week, um, which will be interesting because the wrestling world right now is a little rough, in my opinion.
Mm.
I'm uh I'm having some soul searching to do with my AEW right now. I man,
Flashes.
oof.
Flashes.
Well, and the thing is,
Phew.
it's flashes of what used to be, and I miss what used to be. So like
Yeah.
watching this last Wednesday, I felt like I was watching a WWE Raw more than I was watching an AEW show. And it's a
Mm.
shame because it was supposed to be the alternative. And then you get the news today that they hired Ric Flair to a multi-year contract, and I just I was like, oh, how are you going to
Mm.
go out and bash, you know, the things that Vince McMahon allegedly did, and then you go and hire someone like Ric Flair who also had a bunch of alleged. I don't know,
Yeah.
is rough. It was a little soul crushing to see that. I mean, I'd rather seen a multi-year deal with some new up and comer, but I really
Yeah.
am getting flashbacks to WCW before it crumbled. Like, and
I was
that's
gonna
a
say that too.
scary, man. It's not
Yeah,
what I
I,
want to
I
see happening.
not at all. And I was telling you a little bit earlier. So Jay Tilly, myself, a couple other folks from work, we're all gonna get together and watch Crown Jewel. So I
Triple
was
B,
like, oh, I
baby.
want to. What's that?
Triple B. Bourbon barbecue
Yeah.
and body slams.
Yeah. So I got a couple of bourbons. One, actually three I've never had before. So we'll cork those and kind of have fun with it. Drop that
Cool.
on TikTok or whatever. So I go in and I'm at the in the liquor area of the store, and I was wearing my AEW sweatshirt, and the girl goes, "Oh, you like wrestling?" And she had this like European accent, whatever. Next thing you know, we're sitting there talking about WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, I lived in Atlanta when I came to the States." I was like, "Oh my God, that's Ric Flair country, blah blah
Yep.
blah." She's like, "Oh yeah, him and his woo," but she said it just like that, and I was like, "Yeah." So she talked about a few other people. I go walking out. I get to my truck. As I reach for the door, my phone goes. Zzz, zzz. I look, and it says AEW has signed Ric Flair. I'm like, we were just talking about
Yeah.
WCW, the company that used to be, and now here we are kind of reliving. And not that Sting hasn't done great and definitely worth the money, but he wasn't. I don't think he was ever the problem at WCW.
No.
um and now here we are, like you said, like, oh come on, what, we're better. AEW was better than this.
Yep.
And the four pillars, and all the great things that they're doing. And not that Saraya isn't wonderful, not that uh freaking Moxley is killing it, Jericho's the Ocho. I think that's way different. But then you bring in Ric Flair,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, wah wah. So
I can see some of the benefits to bringing him in, right? I mean, he is a wrestling genius and legacy in mind. As long as they keep him off
mhm,
screen, and like
right.
I do not want to see Sting's retirement match
Oh
being
my
against Ric
God,
Flair,
don't
right?
don't
Like,
don't even put that out in the ethers.
well, I mean, that's one of the
Oh
rumors I
no.
heard, and then I heard that he wants it to go against MJF. Like, no, Like, I don't want to see him in the
No,
ring. I don't want to see him on air. Uh,
no.
if anything, keep it quiet. Let this blow over and keep him backstage to be that voice to talk of, because some of these
Yeah,
young guys, man, that's an amazing wealth
yeah,
of knowledge to talk to. I mean, he really was one of the greatest ever. So I could see the appeal of having him in your backstage, and he's not disruptive by all accounts
yeah,
like CM Punk was, or now you got Adam Copeland too. So there's definitely some old heads, as they like to say, back in the backstage.
yeah,
I'm worried. You said flashes, and it's interesting because I saw flashes of old AEW, but I'm seeing those more flashes than what I'm accustomed to seeing. We were always
yeah.
going to get the really great in ring stuff. I mean, if you look at Dynamite, we had an amazing match between Orange
Oh
Cassidy and
man.
Claudio. However, even still, there were things like, all right, well, so the Hook thing was to get Hook out of the arena. Where were their best friends? Where were all the other people that Orange Cassidy has made allies with that just didn't bother showing up? And there's
Yeah,
little things like continuity things that AEW was really good at not uh not having an issue with, and now they're an issue again. And I don't know. I keep, and I've been saying this probably for a month now or 2 months now, or actually probably all of 2020. Like, I'm hoping it's just a phase. I'm not. I don't think so. I think this is just
yeah.
the reality of what AEW is going to be now. It's
Mm.
going to be really good matches, and parts of it are going to be the AEW we loved, which is like the melodrama, the Bucks coming backstage, like, why is he in here, and that kind of stuff. But I think more and more we're going to see this kind of sports entertainment thing. And then I thought I saw something today on one of the news outlets that the Warner Brothers deal with AEW, they haven't come to an agreement yet because they can't meet somewhere. So I'm curious. Now I'm gonna have to look that up. But
Mm.
yeah, I heard something. I
Yeah,
thought I saw that today on Twitter. Now it's Twitter. Who knows if it was true or not? But I thought I
yeah.
saw something like there was issues with the Warner Brother deal that they
That
hadn't come to terms yet,
sucks,
like had planned.
man. Yeah, I saw something too where they're gonna come out with a AEW Plus,
Okay.
and I was like, okay, well they have the Ring of Honor thing, and maybe they'll figure some way to do like a dual package where you can get both for one price or whatever. But yeah, we talk about flashes, and we used to come on and I'd harp on the commercial, or we'd talk about the refereeing, and there's so many other things now. And our show was always based on the 22nd of every month we are going to shout out our brothers and sisters in
Yep.
arms. We're going to talk about it's all right to be, it's okay to not be okay, and positivity, right?
Yep.
And it's like 5 years in, they filled Wembley. Tony Khan has this huge announcement, and I was like, oh man, what's the announcement going to be? And I thought, bum, bum, bum. And then they were going to announce like either a TV deal or some kind of change in programming. And then they go, hey, in 30 days, AEW is going to start selling tickets for Wembley next year. What? I shaved my legs for this? And I was all excited. Like, the barometer now is like when he goes, "Oh, we've got a huge announcement." I'm just be like, "Well, I'm not going to
Exactly.
tune in just for your freaking announcement.
Yep.
I'm tuning in. They're you know, you tune in to Monday Night Raw for what Seth Rollins going to do, what's Cody up to, main event Jay coming into his own, and then you turn in to Friday the storyline with the Judgment Day and NXT. What are they going to how are they going to put an edge on Tiffany Stratton? They're making superstars. What are they going to do with Becky Lynch? And then you turn into AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision for an awesome wrestling show, and you
Exactly.
get some wrestling, and then you get sports entertainment, which I thought they were joking with when they started the Jericho thing.
Right.
And when it was Jericho and Garcia was doing the dancing thing, dude, that was money. And then you'd have Jack talking about, I like this hat. I was like, okay, all right, that's about all the sports entertainment that I want to see. and now, like you said, little by little, but we'll see. I'm digging the Bucks new Edge. I really, really cannot wait.
Yeah, I'm curious where this
Oh
is
my
going to go
god,
for
yeah,
sure. And
yeah.
I guess like I said, the flashes, right? The frustrating thing is like the Wardlow thing was great. The
Mm,
MJF going backstage trying to find a partner, I liked all that. There were
yeah,
parts of it I didn't like the Acclaim hiding, but even then they did the AEW thing and made the joke about like, oh, we've been hiding here for all this time for no reason. Okay, there's
yeah,
those kind of things I liked, and I don't think that the great wrestling is going to go anywhere.
yeah,
I think with the caliber of people on that roster and everything, that's not going to change. But that's not enough to separate it from what's out there, and that was the whole point, is the
yeah.
sports realistic feel, and I feel like that sports realistic feel is going away, and you look at, the wrestling part of it, well, look at the Creed brothers versus Alpha Academy, right? So
Whew.
you're getting those quality matches on WWE now, which,
Mhm,
say what you want, whether it was the old creepy man that was holding these guys back or whether it was the competition of AEW coming in, making these guys go a little harder and do little things. But you're seeing better matches on WWE now, in my opinion, you
Oh,
know,
100%. Yeah, I totally agree with
and
you.
that I think can be attributed to what AEW is doing. So then the question is like, well, what makes AEW different? Like, why are we trying to watch it other than the cast of characters? Which I guess is
Mhm,
fine, right? Like back in the WCW Monday Night Wars, they were the same issues. It was just WCW was a little edgier. I just
mhm.
miss the rankings. I miss the everything kind of had a purpose, and you could read through things and go, oh, well, maybe this is a work, or maybe this is what are they doing here? And now I'm just kind of like, no, that's probably just a mess up, or that's not going to go anywhere. And that's what turned me off a while ago on WWE, because you'd watch a storyline play out in 3 shows and then it was done. Whereas
Yeah.
AEW is 4 years of it. So that part frustrates me. But it is what it is, right? It's wrestling. It's what do they call whatever,
Cyclic.
circular. I know there's another
Yeah,
word for it, but
yeah,
and it always goes around. So I'm sure we'll get around to another thing. Uh, I
yeah.
think I think TNA, going back to TNA, I think is
Woo!
going to be interesting, and I think NWA getting a live show. Plus, MWL is supposed to be getting a show on
Just about done, yep.
I forgot what channel. So now you've got other alternatives. So maybe that's what's going to kick AEW in the ass to go. Oh,
Yeah.
I am very curious to what All In's going to do number wise next year, though. I mean, are
Oh,
they going to
yeah.
get 80,000 people in there again?
I oh, man, I like the quality and, that was my first 5 beard event that I've, been witnessed and everything, and it just man, and like you said, the wrestling is outstanding, the character work from MJF, the evolution of the Bucks, the what's Kenny Omega gonna do, the Ocho walking around, the Don Callis family, you're getting all that good stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, man, yeah, it's and we kind of talked about how we were part of the record breaking when we bought tickets to WrestleMania, and we were in the audience for the first Forbidden Door event, and this Wembley thing is absolutely on my bucket list. Um,
I need to get my
and
passport
it's
so we
yeah,
can go next
yeah,
year.
yeah. So,
Especially because we
dude,
might have the
it's
hookup to go next year, so I definitely need to get my
yeah.
passport taken care of. Um, yeah, I yeah. Yeah, I just and oh, I think I lost you. Are you there? Oh, your audio dropped. Give him a few
I'm here.
seconds. Oh, now you're here.
Damn it.
Okay. You must have muted yourself.
I'm here.
Oh. Or you
No,
were just
I
mouthing stuff
my
and not really talking.
this
But
stupid
but I think and it's funny as we're talking through it, right? Like I look at like the Young Bucks and the Omega and Wardlow and things throughout the show, and I'm like, I really probably could have enjoyed that. Like, so maybe it's not necessarily I mean, the product has changed, but maybe it's just a funk right now with wrestling in general. Because even like watching Raw and all that, I end up which I always kind of fast forward through some of it, but even more so than normal. But now I'm
yeah.
starting to find myself doing that with Collision, with
Mm,
Dynamite. Not even turning it on for Rampage unless I hear, oh, you really have to see this. Oh,
mm,
okay, I'll turn it on. So and it could just be, outside life influences kind of
Yeah.
affecting that. And I think we talked about it last time we were together about how I've been going back to some of the old Ring of Honor and
Mhm.
New Japan stuff. But it is what it is wrestling. So
Yeah.
I feel like you always kind of go through these ups and downs, and right now we're just kind of on a slope.
Little
And I
bit of a
think it'll turn.
lull,
Yeah,
you know.
and it's the time of year we're getting into the
That's true. Yeah.
holidays. For you and I, it's about to be peak season, which means we're not gonna have much
Oof.
time to do much anyways. So
Oof.
um, there are outside contributors that are probably affecting my view on it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I still watched that show last night and was just like, okay. I mean, I loved parts of it. I loved MJF. I'm terrified MJF is leaving in January and not going to resign. So you notice he wasn't on the poster for All In next year.
Yeah, I think that's
I could be a work though.
yeah,
But
I
again, old
so
AEW, yes. New AEW, I have no idea.
so we back up a couple of months or a few months, I guess. So we got a little bit of a hangover from All In and All Out. And then, there's a lot of questions. Why do you bookend, you know, you not that you blew your wad with All In, but let that breathe for a little bit. You don't have to go back to back, right? And then, okay, so it's kind of like the Super Bowl hangover for the team that either won it or didn't. Whoever was in the Super Bowl, sometimes it's hard, unless you're the Patriots or Tom Brady, whatever, to get back to the Super Bowl numerous times. And then you had some pretty significant injuries. And, Mox was probably going to be like a focal point,
hmm
and you're like, "Oh man, there's the pivot point for probably 30% of the booking for the next, 3 4
And
months,
Punk,
whatever."
you
And
know,
then you've got
Punk gets fired.
the Punk bullshit. You still haven't seen Jungle Boy or
Yep.
Jack Jungle Jack or whatever. You still haven't seen him, and the I feel like Ring of Honor is kind of floundering, even though you have Eddie as your champion, and he's on these indie shows walking to the ring without the title, and
Right.
it was I don't know, it was strange. Speaking of indie, did you see Ronda Rousey showed up
I
at
did
a
with some AEW alum.
yeah, with
So
Maria Shavir and stuff, yeah.
kind of
And then you
interesting on that one.
mentioned yeah, and then you mentioned MLW. They have old Mr. Hammerstone. He requested his release. Hammerstone is like, he'd be the equivalent of MJF for MLW,
Okay.
homegrown, built, cultivated. He went on Busted Open went during the pandemic, and there was a Get Yourself Over Monday, and he came on and he cut it up, and he became um he was the middleweight champion or whatever, and then became the world champion. And then you had one of the Anoy family members,
Mm,
Lance. He got his release from
okay.
MLW, and there's another family member who's in the midst of negotiating his release from MLW. So now you could be looking at the expansion or the growth of the bloodline, and WWE doing some good stuff, and Brian Pillman Jr. is over there.
Yep.
Uh, what's his
Yeah, he's going by a
Alexis King or
different name
something?
now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and the names are a play on one is his mom's name, so I think he goes by Alex, and his mom's name was Alexis, and then the last name is the last name of his sister or somebody. So
Okay.
that's the symbolism of the name. So a lot of really cool stuff going on, and there's like constant change. So I'm hoping, kind of like all this to say, I'm hoping that AEW will get back on track, like what they looked like they were going to do with Mox going back after Orange Cassidy. He gets the international championship. It comes between him and Claudio, is what I think will kind of happen. But then you don't know necessarily what's going to happen with the Blackpool Combat Club, because Brian is going to be out a while.
Yep.
busted orbital bone, and there was
Oof.
something like some kind of sinus something.
Yeah.
So
He's requiring surgery.
yeah, speedy recovery to him. And I know he wants to go out on his shield. He doesn't want to go out like this. So, kudos to him, and everything he's already given to the industry. Thoughts and prayers go out to him and in his face. So
Yeah.
sheesh.
Yeah. I I hope he's back. That promo Mox cut on Wednesday night was back to Mox. I don't think so though. I think you're gonna see at Full Gear. I think Orange Cassidy beats Mox as the final boss. Let's say, like, um, this version of Mox, the violent, over the top Mox. I think you have Orange Cassidy beat him, and now you propel him even further
Wow.
up the chain to where, now he can start chasing the world title or something. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I mean, you keep doing that, and you keep pushing him the way to the
Damn, that'd be
moon,
strong.
to the moon,
To
as they
the
would say
moon. That
in WWE.
I like that, and it makes Orange, and it makes the international championship too. I mean,
Yep.
that serves two masters right there. That would be that'd be interesting. The self-servient thing and like the immediate return would be Mox wins the title, shock and awe. He's the champion. He walks around, I should have never. I can't believe, and then he goes back against Phoenix when Phoenix can come back. So it's like back to back
Yep.
injuries and stuff. So, whoo, it's something else. And then you'll get the former women's champion who's out with the shoulder, British
Oh yeah. Jamie Hayter.
hater. She'll, when
Yep.
she comes
She
back,
should be coming back soon.
that's going to be interesting. And that might be why they put the title on Sheeta, so she can come back and get it, and then she'll feud with
Oh.
with Saraya, or somehow get the
Yep.
title back on Saraya or whatever. But Sheeta's been doing freaking phenomenal. That was a really good match, and kudos to AEW for giving that match the time to breathe,
Yeah.
and just awesome
Yeah.
work.
I can't wait for her and Tony Storm.
Yeah.
See, I think Storm wins it at Full Gear, and I think you're setting up Storm and Hayter when she comes back.
Ooh, that would
I'd like to see
be
that.
that would be even better. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
I'd
better.
like to see that.
I love the
Um,
character work from Tony.
yeah, it's great. I'm not a big fan of these silent video things in the picture in picture though, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Whatever. I mean, it's one way to fill your picture in picture and not have like parts of the match that are just stalling.
yeah.
But
Holding a
the
headlock on the outside of the ring.
yeah, headlock for like
Yeah.
20 minutes outside.
Jeez, man.
But um speaking of women and everything, I think, and I'm again old AEW. This is probably more possible, but I think we're going to see the Devil as being Britt Baker. I think this Devil Mask suspicion and all that.
Hmm.
I don't know who her crew's going to be. I don't know who's going to be part of it, but I think that would be kind of a nice little twist because MJF and Britt Baker have a history going through social media. They hated each other and they talked all that. Um, it would be interesting to see them have her as the one orchestrating this devil attack stuff down the road. Just
Wow.
something that you know,
Hmm.
just something I was thinking about. Got
That's
you
a good
thinking,
one.
huh?
Yeah. So, and going back, even how you were talking about old AEW, you would do this like if we were sitting around watching a pay per view or
Yep.
at work or whatever, and you'd be like, "Hey, I was going to save this for the show, but what do you think about this?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"No!" Things that my WWE brain doesn't even think about, because it's not in the parking garage opening segment in the back with Pierce
Yep.
or Nick Aldis as your um,
SmackDown
the Friday night
general manager.
SmackDown
Yep.
general manager. Been doing awesome, so I'm interested to see if that brings Mickey James back. But she's doing some great work over in TNA. It's Impact now, but when it comes back to,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to when they get their whatever their new title ends up looking like. I think I may end up
Add
getting.
to the collection.
Yeah, So
Cool.
I freaking yeah, I'm so happy for them. That's I just don't want them to go back to the weird sided ring. I didn't.
Six-sided, yeah, no, yeah, when I want a six-sided ring. I mean, it was neat when it happened,
Yeah.
but now I'm like, "No." And from what I understand, the workers didn't like it. They got injured too much, they said. It was too hard to balance the moves. I'm like, "All right,
Yeah.
well, don't go back to it then." But, I know you wanted to talk about something else here. We've got about 10, 20 minutes,
Yeah.
however long you wanna go. Uh, just for the fans who, I know we don't always get everything live, but we do get a lot on the audio side, and, 250 plus downloads.
Yeah,
Go us.
you.
So, I'll open the floor to you if
Yeah.
you want to talk a little about that, and then maybe tell them what other things coming up we can be doing here.
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, love the hat. The dolphin. He's wearing a Dolphins NFL hat from last year's Crucial Catch, which is the NFL contributing to cancer research. Why is that significant to us, to me? Um, Mrs. Ellie Jair is going through it. Had pancreatic cancer. The doctor got all of the cancer from the pancreas. Edges were good. Scans came back clean. Boom, bada bing. We just recently came back from another scan just with the update. And this has been about 4.5 months, 5 months. And unfortunately, the cancer has spread. And as it stands now, it is not operable. And obviously, it breaks your heart. It's a absolute soul punch. Like, it you can't even imagine. And I pray for everyone who's going through it. I want you to know, I'm here, we're here, to talk to you, to hear you. If you want to share, hit us up on the socials, hit us up at no shave man cave at gmail.com. We'll talk about it. We have some folks that have really helped out. One of our business partners has some connections. We've sent messages back and forth. The company I work for has been freaking phenomenal. Kudos to them, and like all the way up to the president of the company is like freaking awesome. So where we are, we have a big interview coming up at the Mayo Clinic to get, Tiffany has been accepted for the initial interview appointment to begin part of a phase 3 trial, which, in grand scheme of things, that's freaking phenomenal. And, appreciate whoever talks to their, version of who they pray to and who they think of. Appreciate all the positive vibes you may or may not kick our way. And, we're going to start sort of chronicling what we're going through. And it's so different because normally it's the woman talking about her husband, her boyfriend, left this earth, crossed over, left them with children, left them with all this stuff, and now they're trying to put their lives back together again. And it's going to be, depending on what happens, and I'm, fingers crossed, I'm praying that we're going to still have a long run. But this is sort of not uncharted. Obviously, cancer sucks for everybody.
Oh, I just lost your audio. I lost you. Nope.
Now, can you
Now I
hear me
got you.
now?
I got cancer sucks, and then you cut out,
Okay.
which we all know
Yeah,
that.
so
Fuck
cancer
cancer.
sucks for everybody. So I just want to kind of go through and talk about the highs and the lows, the successes, and capture any resources that I may come across, whether it's in Florida with this Mayo Clinic, Minnesota with that Mayo Clinic, Moffitt in Tampa. We also have an appointment there. And then there's a couple other cancer resources and centers that we're gonna make the trip to. So I don't want to be the guy that walks into a room or comes on the show and goes, hey, let's make it weird. I won't ever do that. That's just not my style, and not Tiffany's style. The first thing she thought of was not herself. The first thing I think of is not myself. And, again, like I said, everybody who's going through this, it sucks. And, there's no other way to candy coat it. And I can talk about it now, but, every now and then it'll hit me. And, Jay Tilley was there the day I found out the initial prognosis, or the initial um, diagnosis. And then when we found out it spread, you were the first person, that I felt safe with to let it flow. And, if whatever your venting mechanism is, let it be healthy, let it be productive, and always remember that it isn't about you when you're a caregiver. And, you got to take care of yourself, because otherwise you're not going to be able to take care of them. So I just come to you with an open heart, and, don't drown your sorrows in, you know, illicit substances. And I'm a drinker. I will tell you right off the jump, that is, the last thing that I'm going to be doing. So appreciate the time and the space, and, you as my, tag team partner. Shit hot, man. We're going to make it. We're going to get through, kick some ass, take some names. And I'm really looking forward to this journey, because I think, there's going to be a lot of good stuff is going to come out of this. And I really appreciate it, dude.
Oh, of course, man. We're gonna go through some ups and downs, I'm sure. Um, and that's one of the reasons the schedule might be a little erratic. But we
Yeah.
will do our best to make sure we are recording. And as far as the journey and your idea for that, we can even set it up for once every 2 weeks or something, however you want to do it,
Yeah.
so that if the people that are listening don't want to, not to bash on, they don't want to hear that part. They just want to hear
Oh,
the rest
yeah.
of the thing.
Yeah.
They'll
This is
know
heavy
separately, just
stuff,
kind of
man.
like our mental health show, right? Like,
Oof.
I'm sure
Yeah.
not everybody turns into our mental health show on the 22nd every month.
Yeah.
Um, so, we can incorporate the same thing, like, hey guys, this is we'll come up with some cool wrestling name for that show, but we'll
There it
we'll,
is.
we'll work through it with the ups and downs, man. So I'm here to support you. I'm sure we've got tons of family out there in the No Shave Man Cave that'll support you. But yeah, we're here to go through it. So
All day.
all day,
Thanks,
man.
man. I really appreciate it. That's good stuff.
Yeah, and we'll work some stuff out, and we'll work this around your schedule. I'll try to start updating Twitter maybe a little bit more with our schedule. Um, Maybe I'll start a Discord and people can join us there. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of ways
Yeah.
that we can kind of put our schedule out so people know,
Yeah.
hey, they're not recording today, but hey, they are going to try to get a show out. But we'll work that
Yeah.
through whatever we can get. So
Yeah. I'll do a little better on like TikTok and Threads, and
yeah,
still waiting for Blue Sky. Hey, we only got
hit us up.
almost 300,000 downloads. It's, not for nothing.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Hey, so
Shoo.
real quick, want to shout out IWC 2.0, who's been chatting with me back and forth on the YouTube chat. Been a supporter of ours for a while. Has been liking our videos. He's one of our first on our YouTube ground level because we are just getting started. So shout out to him. Thanks for following us. Thanks for chatting, and we appreciate support. Spread the word if you can. We're trying to grow on YouTube to get more people to watch us and check us out. That being
Hell
said,
yeah.
anybody else out there that wants to check us out, you can check out the audio version of the podcast wherever you get your podcast from. No Shave Man Cave, Apple, Spotify. I think Google Podcast is still a thing, but it's going away. So anyway, I know YouTube's got it now. But like I said, anywhere you get your podcast, we are out there. Check us out, No Shave Man Cave. Follow us on YouTube and on Rumble. We go live. Well, I can't say that. We're going to go live at least once a week on YouTube and Rumble. We'll try to make sure everybody's updated with those schedules. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so you know when we're going live. That might be one of the best ways to do it, especially with what we got going on. You'll kind of get a heads up when I schedule these up. Appreciate everybody listening, man. It's your turn. Hot tag.
Oh, baby, baby. Bump and feed to our brothers and sisters in arms. We love you. Keep doing what you do. Much love to our fellow cancer patient, survivor, caregivers. We love you. We're here for you. And don't stop believing. That's what it's all about, positivity. And as always, we love you. Thank you so much for supporting the No Shave Man Cave. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you on the
On the
floor.
floor.